What's up, guys? I wanted to jump into some quick driving for dollars hacks. I hope everyone's having a super productive week and into the fourth quarter, guys. The only thing separating you from the results that you want to accomplish is the amount of action that you're willing to take. So I encourage you, get out there in the field, figure out what the activities you need to focus on are that are going to produce the greatest results that you are seeking. Hone in on those activities. Dive in deep, guys, and figure out what you need to do and what's separating you between where you are and where you want to be. With that being said, let's jump into some quick driving for dollars hacks, guys, where we can really clarify our goals and reverse engineer some goals moving forward. So driving for dollars is one of the most important lists to build in any market because this is your own highly targeted, motivated leads list, right? It's not public information. It's not something that hundreds of other investors are pulling from public tax records. This is your own off-market leads list. So I encourage you, get out there, guys, write down some addresses and figure out how to target these distressed homes. How to locate these hidden gems in any local market, right? So in order to build our off-market lead source, we want to target the most active zip codes and hot neighborhoods where we know that our investors are buying, right? Once we're out there, we can either door knock, we can leave personalized letters or door hangers, and really get out there, guys, and try to make as many contacts as possible. Because at the end of the day, the more contacts, the more people that you talk to, the better results you're gonna get, right? So get familiar with the neighborhoods, guys, drive through them. You want to get a good idea with what the houses are selling for. And as you can really hone in on that niche specific area, you know what investors are buying in which areas and how to better navigate the deals moving forward. We're going to also jump into a quick little hack, super cool way that you can actually upload a list into Google, into your Google Maps section, and you can pull that up on your phone while you're out there in the field, guys. It's super cool and a cool way to identify some vacant properties. So to begin with, guys, results require action. It does not get any simpler than that, guys. Fortune favors the bold. So in order to really get out there and in order to start producing those results, guys, you got to get in the car and drive. In this life, you're going to have to fight for what you want. You're going to have to fight for what you believe in. You're going to have to get out there in the trenches and really make it work. Because if you don't take that massive action, you are never going to succeed. You're never going to reach the results that you truly want to reach. Think about the results you want to get and the action that you think is going to take to get there. Multiply that times 10. And that's the amount of action you're probably going to have to put into place in order to reach those results. So finding your perfect property avatar. What does the vacant house look like? What tall tale signs are we having our eyes out for when we're actually building these lists, right? So first thing we're looking for tall grass, overgrown yards, something that's been overlooked. You know, it's obvious that the homeowner has not been active. They might be living in there, they might not be, but we're looking for super overgrown yards. In many cases, we're looking for that ugliest house on the block. Sometimes I'm driving the neighborhoods. If I see excessive leaves on the roof, it'll allow me to pay a little further attention to the house. Now, when you're looking at the fall season, if you live here in the South where there's a lot of trees, well, many of these houses are going to have a lot of trees on the roofs. But if it's in the middle of summer, you know, or different seasons, you can pay attention to that. And if a roof is just completely covered in leaves, that's a good indication that you can start looking further for further signs of distress. Another thing is just the driveway looking rough, kind of overgrown. You know, what does that look like? Similar to the overgrown yard, it just looks like it needs some love, right? Boards and windows, that's a dead giveaway. Violation stickers, you see any stickers, any red tape, anything posted on the door or the columns outside of the house, that's a good indication that there's some type of violation or distress because no one's living in that property. If you don't see curtains in the window, you know, no blinds, no curtains at all, property might be vacant. Any indication of distress, guys, write that address down. Further signs to look out for: satellite dishes. with the way that technology has been rapidly moving forward, DirecTV, anyone that uses DirecTV, there's still a lot of satellite dishes out. And in some cases, they might have just been overlooked. But in many cases, if you see a satellite dish on a house, that might be a good indication to look a little bit further into that property to see if, is it vacant? Is it distressed? Let's reach out to these people and see if we can try to make an offer on the house. Trash day. If you can learn what day trash goes out for each different neighborhood, and you can go out on those days, pay attention to who has their trash bins out and who doesn't. The houses with no trash bin might be worth writing the address down, or at least looking at that property and seeing, does it look vacant? What's going on here? Is it kind of run down? Does it need some love? Trash day, guys. Pay attention to that. Another big thing is the electric meters. Now, you're going to have a super keen eye for this, right? You're going to have to keep your eyes out, be driving very slow. Like I said, when you're in these neighborhoods, you don't have to go super fast. You don't have to go 25 miles an hour. You can kind of crawl down the street at 10, 15 miles an hour, just simply breezing, looking at the houses, because if you're just zooming by, you're not going to be able to really pinpoint those vacant houses. In many cases, you're just going to drive by and not even see it. I've done it too many times. Anyways, with the tags on the electric meters, if it's tagged red or anything, it might be different for different counties. If there's any type of a tag on the electric meter, it's probably because the utilities have been turned off. They've come out here and tagged it, right? So if you can see that, if you have a good vantage point from the street, that's a good indication that this house is vacant. Wheelchair ramps. Wheelchair ramps, guys, we all see different seasons in life. What I've found to be pretty consistent, when there's a wheelchair ramp outside of a house, someone is either in or getting close to that season of transition, right? People are getting older. Next necessary step is, going into an assisted living home, moving in with friends and family, whatever that might look like. If there's a wheelchair ramp, it might be worth writing that address down to look into it further, because again, you never know what the situation is. And last but not least, for sale by owner. You guys, if you see a for sale by owner sign, it's probably worth giving it a call just to feel them out. Write down the address and the phone number and see how interested they really are in selling. And are they willing to sell it for a discount? How do we find and keep deal finders, also known as bird dogs? Guys, real estate is a team sport. Life is a team sport. So I encourage every single one of you to build a team around that greater vision, right? So identify mail carriers, landscape workers, Uber drivers, different people within your network that are out there in the field driving routes every single day. These people have a better idea of what properties are vacant in what areas than just about anyone else, right? So figure out who those people are, either in your network, or go out there and talk to your mail person that comes by your neighborhood every single day. Build those relationships and encourage them to simply jot down the address of any house that looks vacant. And if you purchase that house, if you end up closing on that property, you will pay them between $1,000 to $2,000 cash in their pocket upon closing, right? You want to be able to encourage and inspire action. So of course you got to take care of your people. I've heard of people doing, $400 or $500. I mean, that's an incentive, guys, but take care of your network. Let these people know that you are serious about it. Because again, if you end up closing a $10,000, $15,000 deal, that's a small price to pay. So build a team around that. Here's a good idea that we've actually implemented as of recent. Print out a simple postcard, right? Print out a card that says we're looking for vacant house finders. We'll pay you $1,000 fee per property. All you have to do while you're driving these neighborhoods, you're already out there in the field, driving Uber, doing whatever you do. If you see tall grass, overgrown yards, boards and windows, any indication that a house is kind of run down, write that address down. If we buy it, we will pay you $1,000 to $2,000 cash. No questions asked, right? Well, the amount of people that you talk to and the amount of people that are actually going to take that necessary action is going to be a large separation, which is why I encourage you, print out 200 to 300 of these cards and hang out for a full day, or go at lunchtime, go to a Chick-fil-A, any fast food restaurant, gas station, where you know that these blue collar workers are going to be hanging out, land care professionals or lawn care professionals, whatever that might be, and hand them a card. Let them know what you do. You're a local real estate investor and we're looking for properties. If you happen to drive by any properties, simply write down the address. It'll take 2 seconds of their time. And if we can buy it, we'll pay you $1,000. $1,000 is awesome money for someone that's putting in work for $10 to $12 an hour. Acquisition team expectations. We've recently implemented this within our own business. So for every team member, whether they be an acquisitions manager, disposition, whatever that looks like, we are requiring 10 properties, 10 leads to be written down per week, right? Very simple. It can be done in an hour of your time, maybe 2 hours max. In many cases, we're already going on appointments to meet with sellers. So leave a half an hour early, right? Go 30 minutes prior to your appointment so you can drive that neighborhood. One, you're going to get familiar with the neighborhood. Two, you're going to write down any houses that look vacant that we can put in our database and figure out how to reach out to in the future as well. So you're actually tackling two birds with one stone. Not only do you have a better feel for the neighborhood that you can use in negotiation when meeting with the seller, but you also have some new properties that we can target and get more deals as a result as well. So in order to get really efficient with this, track your metrics. You got to be accountable. And again, real estate is a team sport. It's so hard to do it alone. I did it alone for the first year and achieved minimal results, right? I'd be out there driving for dollars and I was in the process trying to find the best place to get it appended and get phone numbers. Guys, the quality is in the numbers. The more people that you talk to, the better results, the more contracts you're going to get, right? And if you're not submitting logical offers, if you're not making offers, then you're not going to have any type of results, right? That is what's the big separator between people that are really making it and not. So I encourage you, if you're just getting started, guys, join a team. Get out there, find someone that's active in your network that can profit share. You guys can partner on deals, whether it be bird dogging, you're working acquisitions. For our team personally, we're currently in a training process with that. So, rub shoulders with people that are already in the position that you want to be, because in many cases you can learn from them. You can add value to their network. You can make money while doing it and learn some of the tricks of the trade, guys. Take care of your team. Last of all, people want to know that they're appreciated. So again, take care of your people first, guys. You got to always come with a go-giver heart. So at the end of the day, how do we stay accountable? Weekly reports, lead tracking, and database management. This is something that I didn't realize the importance of until recently, right? We started implementing EOS in our business, and you realize the importance of tracking your KPIs, managing your data, and figuring out how to target these lists, right? Again, you got to build a team, you got to structure it and put key people in key places that they can get out there in the field. Everyone knows their role and we can accomplish way more. So team accountability, we'll jump into that in just a minute, how we're staying accountable with one another, what's expected for each individual, and how we manage that. And above all else, be a go-giver. People want to feel appreciated. You can see below the Driving for Dollars spreadsheet, which we're actually going to jump into on the next page. Simply at the end of every week for each deal finder, you're going to put the street address, city, state, and zip. No need to jump into the owner name and last name. It's going to take some extra time on your end. And quite honestly, we already have a VA in place where they can pull up this information. They'll track down the owner's information, all the tax information, and then we'll get the phone numbers appended, we'll mail it, and we'll crush some deals. So how to leverage technology. Here's some super cool apps that you can use. Land Glide, it's $20 a month. When you're driving these neighborhoods, if you happen to stop by a specific property, you can click on that property on the app. It'll pull up the owner's tax information, how long they've owned the property, what they might have leveraged on it, and it's going to give you a good idea if there might be enough equity in it or not. Driving for Dollars app and Deal Machine, both pretty cool tools. I've used Deal Machine myself. I don't use it much anymore. One, I found that when I'm out there in the field, that's great. I can take a picture of the property and then, goes into the database, but then I have to choose from, 2-3 addresses of which property that is, or I could have just written it down. So what I found most effective in our business is pull out the notepad in your phone, free app, and so you can pay attention while you're driving and have your eye out for the vacant houses. Simply do a voice to text, right? Click the voice to text and read out 123 Main Street, Columbia, right? Boom. You got all the information you need right there. It respects your time. And again, we already have a super defined process on how we're going to target these on the back end. It's not necessary to go through those extra steps. That's just my 2 cents. But again, do what works best for you and your team. So we are going to jump into a super cool Google Maps hack in just a second. First, I wanted to show you how we're actually tracking some of these leads with the team and what we're doing here. So you can see here, let's go out. In our wholesale network folder, we got our driving for dollars. For each individual, we're going to have a separate folder, right? Within that folder, we pull it up, and this is where we're going to input the information. You can do it after each day in the field or at the end of every week. But again, we are holding one another accountable. At the bare minimum, each team member needs to be producing at least 10 off-market leads per week. Very simple. Street address, 123 Main Street, city, Columbia, SC, and zip. We got a VA that already goes in there, and they'll track down all the other information that we need. From there, we want to jump into our KPI tracker. We track everything on this, right? Here's all our goals. Now with this, we're just going to focus on driving for dollars. Every team member has a space, and every week we can input how many leads we're producing that spreadsheet, right? And as we compile them throughout the week, we can add these leads up, right? 47 leads. You multiply that times 4 weeks. So every month you're producing, 160, 200 leads. That's super targeted off-market leads, guys. We're already have a great defined sales process. It's just going to make your business run smoother. Lastly, go to My Maps. This is a pretty cool hack. Some of you may be aware of it. Google can do just about anything that you ask it to as long as you know where to go, right? Type in My Maps, go to Google My Maps. Once you're in here, you can create a new map, right? So if you have a spreadsheet, whether it be a probate list, a vacant list, pre-foreclosure, whatever spreadsheet you're working with, whatever you're targeting, you can upload that within Google. So here we got Fulton County. This is a vacant property list that we had. We're going to select street address and continue, right? It's going to think for a minute to populate. It's got hundreds and hundreds of leads that it's going to drop pins on within your Google Maps section. Once it populates, you can actually see each physical pin as it pops up. So when you're out there on your phone, you go to your Google Maps app, you go to your My Maps section, and it will actually pull up the data that you have uploaded within there. And it's going to show you. Might take a quick minute to populate. Anyways, this Fulton County, that's a county in the Atlanta market, which is one of our primary focuses. So if you got a vacant list, you might as well upload this in your phone. If you're out in the field driving for dollars, you can click on each individual property and Google Maps will take you there. And if you're prepared, you got some door knockers or a personalized letter that you just want to tape on the door for them to reach out and contact you, then do it, do it. Okay, this looks like it actually pinned the primary owner's information, which is interesting. I must have input the section for the primary owner. Anyways, we can look at the Google Maps section. Let's show you here. Coweta County, Heard County, right? Any county you're focused on and any list that you're working with, simply input that. Super cool. I'm going to try Fulton one more time just so you can see in real time. Make sure you have the actual property addresses that you want to target. And you're going to zero in. Get proactive, guys. Come up with cool ways, cool opportunities that you can get out there in the field. Leave your contact information and encourage these owners to actually reach out and contact you. Here's a couple flyers if you guys need some ideas. You know, a simple postcard that says, I pay cash for houses. Greetings, my name is so-and-so. I'm a local home buyer. I like to stay away from the word investor. Sometimes it has, a bad connotation connected to it. Local home buying company sounds great. We just sold a house in the area and are looking to buy another one. Would love to make you a fair cash offer on this home and can close on a time frame that works best for you. There's no fees, no real estate commissions. Very simple process, and we buy the house in as-is condition. You're not responsible for anything. So we want to come from a place of service where we're explaining to the homeowner that we can take care of whatever burdens might be in place. We're offering to buy the property for cash and take that headache of a house off their hands, right? A couple other cool marketing pieces. Door hangers, it's very simple. It's professional. I pay cash for houses, right? Simple tag. Say, greetings, my name is so-and-so. My name is Ben. I'm a local home buyer. We're looking for a house to purchase in the neighborhood. Would love to make you a fair cash offer. It's clean. It's simple, guys. It's personalized. If you just want to write a handwritten letter, those are effective too, because that is super personal. Someone knows that you took the time to actually write it out. Or if you write it out on one page, you can put it through your printer and it's going to look the same anyways. But take that to the door, have your phone number, and you're going to have people reaching out to you. Build rapport with the sellers, leave your contact info. And at the end of the day, you just want to focus on solving people's problems. That's why we're here. So quick little review, what to do in the field. It's very simple, guys. No need to overcomplicate it. Simply want to find and locate vacant looking houses. Houses don't, in all cases, even have to be vacant. As we touched on before, we want them to be vacant. But, if there's someone that's elderly or aging, that's a good lead as well. Just pay attention to distress. And once you can locate distress, ugliest house on the block type of deal, write the address down and let's get good with contacting them. If you're proactive, you already have a flyer printed out or a letter, leave your contact information. You'd be surprised at how many people are actually going to reach back out. If they don't do it this month, they might hold on to that letter. And eventually, towards the end of the year, they're looking at their tax bill or whatever their circumstance might be. That motivation is going to change and they're going to end up reaching back out to you. So really get focused with that, guys. And above all else, what I've realized is super important is just database management. Again, when you're working as a one-man team, it's super hard to do. So if you can build a team around that greater vision, inspire action, and take care of the greater whole, that's where results really come into play. And learn to track your numbers. At the end of the day, the consistency is the key to your success. So I cannot say this enough, guys. If you're going through struggles right now, if you're facing tough times, I want to encourage you, don't give up. Never give up, guys. The only way that you know that you're done is when you've quit, you've given up, thrown in the towel. There is so much opportunity out there. Again, opportunity favors the bold. So learn how to face those difficult times. Learn how to face your challenges head on. And instead of questioning why, question how you can better navigate around those same challenges and reach better results, right? Be a real person, be yourself. Don't feel like you got to put out a fake facade and, try to get out there speaking with sellers. Just be real, right? Be real, speak life into every situation. like attracts like. Your mind, your imagination is such a powerful thing, guys. And people read you. You know, when you're meeting with homeowners, meeting with sellers, people can actually feel you on a deep-rooted level. So just make sure that you are clear with your intentions and your communication, and that you're not trying to take advantage of people. Be a person of integrity. And again, action is the foundational key to all success. So take massive action, guys. Take massive action, because that is what's going to get you the results that you are seeking. So get out there, stay consistent. And again, I hope that you got something out of this. This is mainly to be implemented for our team. We're building a team, our acquisitions people that are out there in the field. You know, let's start hammering some results, because again, we're building up a database. We already have an efficient sales process. We got everything lined up. We're just trying to be more effective and more efficient with hammering in and really drilling in some off-market leads. So stay consistent, guys. Let's finish this year strong. We'll be coming out with a goal setting section in the next couple of weeks that's going to allow you to identify where you want to be and create a plan with how to reverse engineer that into a step-by-step action plan in this upcoming year. So stay consistent. I love you guys. Press forward towards the